Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with another live stream, 7:30 p.m. Sunday evening, coming to you from Madrid, Spain's capital. Still, don't know how long it will be Spain's capital the way things are going. That's just a joke. Don't take my word for that. And we're going to have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press today and over the last few days, and also go into the comment section, check out what is happening there too. For the second half of the video, we'll go into the chat section, the live chat section, and check out what is happening there. Already a bit of activity happening in the live chat section, so feel free to add your chat or comment to that section. And as I said, in the second half of the video, I will go into that live chat. Now, the like icon or like button is on the screen. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so just below the video. Keeps me motivated as I sit here going through the news. Only on YouTube today. Couldn't get the Facebook stream up and running. A bit of a technical issue there. So sorry if anybody is on Facebook waiting to see this video. You probably won't realize it until tomorrow when you get some information about that. But sorry for that. I will apologize in advance. Now, the first piece of news we'll look at today, Pedro Sanchez on the campaign trail. More promises rolling out of his mouth, this time when it comes to subsidized train travel and general travel in Spain for young people aged between the ages of 18 and 30. As we can see here, Pedro Sanchez announces a 50% discount on European Interrail for young Spaniards this summer. Spanish PM Pedro Sanchez has announced that the government will finance 50% of Interrail so that thousands of young people aged 18 to 30 can travel around Europe this summer. He made the announcement at an event in the Prince of Asturias Pavilion in Murcia. The aid, as he has indicated, will be enforced between the 15th of June and the 15th of September. This new commitment of his government will be approved at next Tuesday's Council of Ministers. Sanchez said that he will also make it easier for young people to travel around Spain. To this end, there will be a 90% discount on trains and buses that depend on the state and a 50% discount on high-speed trains. We are going to have Interrail in Europe and in Spain, he celebrated. So the government there, as I said, on the campaign trail, hoping to be re-elected in municipal and regional elections in around 18 days' time, and also national elections, which will come up later in the year, haven't been announced yet, but this year the deadline is set for a general election. And Pedro Sanchez promising the 50% discount for Interrail, so I'm sure that lots of young people, thousands as we saw there, are going to take the government up on that offer to travel around Europe at a subsidised price, and also a 90% subsidy when it comes to travel around Spain on transport that is owned by the central government, basically. So Renfe trains, I believe, but there are some transport systems that are controlled by regional or autonomous community governments, so probably those will not be included, but bus services that are run by the central government, train services, that is where the discounts will be. So another election promise from Mr. Sanchez. Now, if you're living here in Spain and you drive a diesel car and you filled up recently, you probably noticed that the difference in price between unleaded fuel and diesel fuel is around 15 to 20 cents a litre. What's the reason? Well, apparently, and I'll say it again, apparently Russian diesel has come into Spain via Morocco, and the government has admitted the other day that this is probably the reason for the cheaper prices. As we can read here, the government admits that the influx of Russian diesel may be behind the fuel price drop. The third vice president of the government and Minister for Ecological Transition, Teresa Rivera, acknowledged on Friday that the entry of Russian diesel into Spanish territory, despite the sanctions against Russia that prohibit this possibility on paper, may be one of the two reasons why the cost of fuel has fallen in recent weeks. She stated this in an interview on Antena 3, reported by Servimedia, in which she insisted that this possible scenario worries the government, which is in close contact with Brussels, to fine-tune the traceability of the oil that arrives in Europe and, in this way, guarantee that the sanctions against Russia are complied with. So a little bit embarrassing there for the government if this is the case, diesel coming into Spain through Morocco, which is currently the government's best friend, Morocco. They were enemies in the first half of the legislature, but now they are best friends, of course, and this Russian diesel creeping into the European Union, although there are sanctions in place on Russian goods, but finding its way in, and as I said, cheaper fuel prices currently. And if we do a comparative here at my local, or one of my local petrol stations, we can see that gasoline 95, 152.9 cents per litre, and diesel 136.7. So what's that? Around 16 cents difference between the two. So a fair difference. And I was under the impression that diesel was going to be more expensive from now on or going forward than gasoline or petrol, but not the case with maybe this Russian fuel coming into the country. There we go. Interesting. And the final piece of news that we'll look at today, this one here, the postal company Correos tested this morning more than 84,000 people to fill 7,757 vacancies. The postal company Correos has scheduled for this Sunday an exam that will bring together more than 84,000 candidates simultaneously at 44 sites located in 28 provinces and Ceuta and Melilla to fill the 7,757 permanent positions throughout Spain. The exam is intensive with 100 multiple choice questions, there may be 80, to be completed in 90 minutes, 90% of them from the syllabus, and the remaining 10% will be psycho-technical questions. The positions offered by the postal company are for the performance of functions of delivery of shipments, logistical tasks, and customer service in offices. So 7,757 jobs on offer here, and some 84,000 people sitting that test, the 100 questions, or maybe 80, so they don't even know how many questions there's going to be, maybe 100, maybe 80, according to Air there. And I know at least 2 people that sat that exam this morning. A neighbour just around the corner here has been studying hard, and one of my students in Catalonia also studying for that exam. So we'll see if they are successful or not, but I don't know what the chances would be. As we saw there, 80,000 candidates and some 7,000 people, so we can work out the chances there. So not easy to get a job in the postal service, and you have to get a very good score on that test, as we saw, and various questions being pulled from the syllabus. Not sure how thick the syllabus is, but if people are studying hard for the test, and 10 or 20 questions, was it? 10 questions, I think, related to psycho-technical questions. So there we go. To work in the postal system here in Spain, quite a difficult exam, I believe, to get into that organisation and basically have a job for life, which is the carrot which is being offered for many, many people, a job for life. Now, into the comment section I will go. Firstly, the like icon on the screen. If you haven't hit it yet, please do so. Up to like 63 currently. You might be like 64, 65, or maybe like 70 if you hit that like button, so please consider hitting it. Now, the first comment from Vesky. Have you seen the price of watermelon in the shops? I had to check twice as I couldn't believe to charge 15 euros for a watermelon. I think it was $2.45 per kilo. I told the missus this summer we will be better off with pineapples, says Vesky. I haven't checked out the price of watermelons, but obviously when you get into these early season watermelons, the prices are a little bit high. The same thing happens with strawberries, or at least it has this year at least. When strawberries were first hitting supermarket shelves, they were very expensive. Wait a month and a half and the prices come down. So no doubt that will be the same with watermelons when the production steps up. I think, I'm not sure what the watermelon season is, but normally around summer do you tend to see watermelons hitting the shelves more, but there would be some pre-season watermelons, I believe, hitting the shelves, and that's probably why they are more expensive. But as Vesky said, they're maybe going to have pineapples this year instead of watermelon as that summer fruit. If you've noticed the price of watermelons, and they are expensive at the moment, let us know in the chat section what you saw the prices at. Another comment here from Outdoor Chilled. Heat pumps are overrated and overpriced at the moment, up to 6 months wait for delivery. Some even waited 9 months. Stick to your wood, fuel or gas boiler stove if you can. Info received from my friend who works for a major German heat pump producer. High demand and lack of microchips, but the same situation for all brands. Yeah, this question was posed in the live stream last week, Thursday's live stream, I believe, or maybe Wednesday's, can't remember. They posed the question about heat pumps, and I think I read, I can't remember exactly the information, but I think from 2028 on, all new houses here in Spain are going to have heat pumps as the main heating system, rather than gas boilers, which are going to be phased out. So natural gas on the way out and the heat pumps on the way in. But as we saw in that comment from Outdoor Chilled, overrated and overpriced at the moment, up to 6 months wait for delivery, some even 9 months. So not easy to get your hands on a heat pump, but as I said, going forward, I think they're going to be the way to heat homes here in Spain. So thanks for the comment there, Outdoor Chilled. Another one here from Richard. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. During the few days of rain here in Vélez, Malaga, I watched the mountain water just flow to the sea. Not one single effect to capture it. A big problem. Yeah, not sure, Richard, where the water in that part of Spain comes from, whether there's a dam close by that brings the water into Vélez, Malaga. But it is a characteristic of Malaga because it has these mountains behind it quite close to the sea. These dry, well, they're normally dry rivers run down, and when it rains in those mountains, the water comes down. And according to Richard there, it's not captured and just goes straight out into the sea, where it could be perhaps used for better purposes. Don't know, considering the drought that we are currently in some parts of the country. So thanks, Richard, for pointing that out. If you've got information on where the water for that part of Malaga comes from, let us know, whether it comes from a dam or if there is some type of other water supply down there. As I said, I've got no idea. But it is a shame if what Richard says there is true, that water that runs down from those mountains into the ocean, and if you've been to Malaga, you'll know what I'm talking about, is not better captured, let's say, as Richard points out. Another comment here from Coffer. Man, it's definitely Galicia. It's Pontevedra. It's been ages since I've been there. That's why I couldn't pick it straight away. But that bridge at the beginning of the vid looks like the Autopista del Atlántico. I reckon there's more rain in the Coruña province. The weather in summer is a bit warmer than in La Coruña. Coffer was the first person to correctly point out that I was in Pontevedra on Friday when I recorded and posted that video. I said in the video that if anybody could guess where I was, there could be a prize coming their way, and maybe for Coffer, who was the first one to point it out. Various people did. There were lots of people saying it's in the north. I was in the north, that's true. A few people said Santander, Bilbao, I think, was one. Other places up there in the north of Spain. Somebody said Vigo, but it was Pontevedra. And Coffer hit the nail on the head there. When it comes to the weather in that part of Galicia, Coffer's right, it does rain less, I believe. The Costa da Morte, I think it's called, in the north, up around Coruña, a lot wetter. And the weather is definitely better in the Rías Baixas, and I think any Gallego will be able to tell you that the weather in that part of Galicia better than in the other northern provinces, Lugo and Coruña, I think. But thanks, Coffer. And like I said, there could be something coming your way if I ever find out where you live. Another one here from Nick. Congratulations on 70K. No idea where you are, but it looks like up in the north of Spain. I live in Almeria and have not had much rain since March, and everywhere is so dry with no spring flowers so far. The opposite here in Madrid. We've got spring flowers even though it's dry. So Nick didn't know where I was. I was in Pontevedra, as I said, which is in Galicia, the capital city of the province with the same name, Pontevedra. And congratulations on 70K. Thanks, Nick. I think it's 70,300 and something now, so it's creeping up. But as I pointed out in last week's live stream, the amount of subscribers, in my opinion, and I'm sure other people on this platform that produce content like myself will also say that it's secondary to the watch time, which is the most important what's the word? The most important statistic or most important data that you get on YouTube. Watch time and the amount of people spend watching the videos. That's the most important thing, and a couple of other metrics as well. Subscribers do help, of course, but when I check out my statistics, a lot of the views come from non-subscribers. So yeah, 70,000 subscribers, fantastic, but as I said, the most important thing is the length of time people watch the videos for. The most important metric, I believe. And another comment here from DJ, same old, here we go again. Every year, no matter which party is ruling, they always run with positive employment figures, when we all know that it is a recurring thing at Easter, summer and Christmas. When will they stop treating us like morons? Yeah, thanks, DJ. I don't know when we will be stopped being treated like morons by politicians that do repeat the same stories every year with seasonal work. I mentioned the other day that some 250,000 jobs were created in April because the spring season started, the tourism season starting in some parts of the country, a few public holidays thrown in there as well, and 50, I can't remember the percentage, I think it was 52% of the jobs were in service bars, restaurants, hotels and things like that. So DJ pointing out that same old, every year the same news. And since I've been doing these videos, obviously there was a pandemic in the middle of it, which was a bit of a novelty, but the news cycle does repeat itself when it comes to certain things. I could go back a year and a lot of the stories are exactly the same, especially when you talk about the types of tourism, some of the bans that are going to be in place. All of those stories repeat themselves when the summer season rolls around. But it is true, and but I can't answer the last part of the question. When are we going to stop being treated like morons? Don't know. But if you do know, let me know your opinion. We've hit the 100 mark in the likes, 104, fantastic. On the screen again, the like button. So if you can hit the like button, please, just below the video. We'll see if we can get up to 120, 130 today, if we're lucky. Now, I'm going to change the backdrop. This photo was sent in by Archie, and it's a picture of the coastline in Torrevieja in Alicante. As we can see here, a nice coastal shot. The apartments there, very close to the water. I'll just get out of the way so we can see how close they are. There we go. So probably only 20 meters from the front door to the beach or the coastline there, which is typical in many of these coastal resorts. Obviously, Torrevieja, no different down there in Alicante. Thanks, Archie, for sending this one through. The email address, if you've got a similar pic or a pic of Spain in general, spainspeaks@gmail.com, feel free to send them through. Any other queries or questions, you can also contact me at spainspeaks@gmail.com. I might not get back to you straight away, but I try to reply. But lately, I've been inundated with emails, so difficult to reply to everyone, but I'll try. Now, into the chat section. Let's see what's happening there. I'll scroll up to the top. As I said, a fair bit of chat I noticed earlier. Andrew coming in from a wet but now sunny southeast London, hoping we are all well. Thank you, Andrew, for wishing that. We are well. Thank you very much. Erica coming in from Terrassa, pouring down at the moment, has just started, but a great relief as rain is very needed, and it's the end of the Fira Modernista. Everyone's been able to enjoy the Fira. Don't know what that is, but thanks, Erica. I think Erica sent through a photo before of that Fira Modernista, so I'll check that out later. But thanks, Erica, for the for the chat. John coming in from a warm and sunny Medina Sidonia down there in Cádiz, I believe, in rural Cádiz, not on the coast. Thanks, John. Barbara coming in from the Playa Flamenca, cloudy down there at the moment after a sunny afternoon. Afternoon clouds creeping over that part of Spain. Sunny coming in from Basingstoke, finally warm and sunny there. A bit wet in London yesterday for the old coronation of old King Charles. Yeah, coronated yesterday. And, of course, a little bit wet. I only watched about 10 minutes of it, but I saw a few people with umbrellas, and people were, when they were getting out of the cars, also being greeted with people holding umbrellas. So a bit wet yesterday, but the sun out in that part of the UK where Sani is. Good to see. Salutations from Maga from El Campello. Hello, Maga. Hope all is well. William coming in from a sunny Glasgow, 16 degrees Celsius there, like number 18. Thanks for hitting that like button, William. Hope all is well. Michael coming in from a sunny Torrox down there in Malaga. Close to Beleth is Torrox. Johnny in the chat section as well. And talking about trees is Johnny. Amazing plants that are thwarted by bureaucratic idiocracy. I've read trees can cool down any hot Calle Mayor by 7 degrees Celsius. Information easily found on the internet. But what do cities do? Johnny, thanks for that. There's a bit of a controversy going on at the moment because the Plaza del Sol in the Puerta del Sol, sorry, not Plaza del Sol, Puerta del Sol in the center of Madrid, no trees. And people are saying, why not? Why not plant trees? Why not? And the mayor, I don't think, has an answer. But 7 degrees less would be the temperature if more trees, according to Johnny. Thanks for that, Johnny. Alan coming in from San Diego on the way back to Puerto de Santa Maria. LAX, to Heathrow, to STN, wherever that is. What's that? Stansted, I imagine, somewhere. To Jerez, I imagine that is. Thank you very much, Alan, for that. On the way back, I presume you're happy. Babs coming in from Wales, finally warm there. Good to see. Simon also coming in. Was in Lanzarote, now back in Ireland. 2,000 kilometres of driving, 2 long ferries, one from Lanzarote and Cherbourg in France. Back in September, this time to stay. Fantastic, Simon. Just around the corner, September, of course. Jennifer also coming in from a sunny Wales, reaffirming what Bab said a minute ago. Sunny in Wales. Don't see that every day. Christian coming in from a sunny LA. Hello, Christian. Hope all is well there. Regular viewer D coming in from Playa de Oliva this evening. Hello, D. Down there in Valencia. Remy with a Y coming in from San Feliu. Having a nice bit of rain at the moment there. Also where Erica is in Terrassa. Not sure where Sant Feliu is in relation to Terrassa, but it could be close. Isidro coming in from San Francisco. Isidro has his Santo coming up very shortly, San Isidro, on the 15th of May. So I'll say congratulations for that right off the bat there, Isidro. Ken also coming in from... not sure where Ken's coming in from. I can't remember. Managed to make a live at last, Ken. Fantastic. 123 Sean Away coming in from County Waterford in Ireland. Warm and a somewhat drizzly day there. So not bad weather around the planet today from what I've read. Richard also coming in today from North Yorkshire. Booked a holiday back to Malaga for 4 weeks' time. There we go. Booked our flights back to Malaga for 4 weeks' time. Fantastic, Richard. Ted coming in from Newport, Rhode Island. Alan also saying that socialists promise the earth, then leave a mess of enormous debt for others to sort out. There we go. Iggy coming in from Gen. What a surprise. Pedrito promising free stuff. Well, it's only a 50% discount. He's not offering to... fully foot the bill on the travel on Interrail around Europe for young Spaniards between the ages of 18 and 30. 90% if they travel around Spain on public transport that's owned by the central government, but only a 50% on Interrail travel. But I'm sure that plenty of people will take the government up on that offer and no doubt put a little cross next to Pedro when the elections come around at the end of the year. Thank you for Mr. Sanchez for that 50% discount. Here's my vote, my friend. Here's my vote. Carol coming in from Estepona with Martin, which is as lovely as ever down there. Haven't seen Carol for a while. Good to see you back, Carol. Amariña, 31 degrees. 31% or 31 degrees. Hottest I've known here this time of year. Yep, unseasonal weather, Andrew. Held coming in local elections on the 23rd of May. There we go. 23rd of May. What did I say before? I thought it might have been 23rd of May, is it? During the week? Didn't know. I thought it might have been a bit later, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday, but the 23rd local elections, according to Hild down there. John coming in in the chat as well. John, there's going to be no update on this. I don't think we'll ever hear anything on this because I don't think it's in Spain's power to be able to change it. I don't think. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Not sure. But there's no talk about it except for groups that are trying to change the rule. But I haven't heard anything coming out of the government. Every now and again when there's a tourism fair on, the Spanish tourism secretary speaks about this, how he's trying to lobby it, but I think he just wants to keep people content at those travel fairs. But like I said, I'm not sure whether it's possible considering the Schengen situation of the European Union. I think that's the biggest issue. I think that's the issue, but I don't think there's any change, John. Not yet. What else we got going on here? He goes, the third vice president. What a bloated government. At this rate, we'll have 20 vice presidents by 2050. Yeah, the size of the government is cause for concern. Currently, the third vice president, of course, we've got the president, Mr. Sanchez. The first vice president is Yolanda Díaz, maybe, or Nadia Calviño, either one of those two women, and Rivera the third. Not sure who the fourth is, but that's just in case the other three are out of action. She steps up to the plate. What else we got going on? Iggy's wishing happy birthday to Elena. Happy birthday, Elena. Sorry, it's Elena's birthday. There we go. 31 degrees there from Sarasota, Florida. Happy birthday, Elena. Iggy has also wished you a happy birthday. Andrew saying, strange about Spanish fuel prices. Here in the UK, diesel is considerably more expensive than unleaded. Yeah, well, the reason, as we saw, and the government's admitted that it could be one of two reasons for the cheaper diesel at the moment, that it's crept into Spain via Morocco. This illegal diesel in the European Union, because of course there are sanctions on Russian fuel, but that's not stopping people bringing it in, as I said, via Spain's new best friend Morocco to the south. That's the reason why there is that 16, depending on where you fill up, but it can be anywhere from 15 to 20 cents difference. Dave coming in from the US, gasoline still around $1 per litre here in the free state of Florida. $1 per litre. Yeah, no, it's not bad. Not bad. Before the postal crash, Johnny says, no one wanted to work for the postal service here. Yeah, I can't remember what the situation was, Johnny. I've never really been interested in the postal service, but recently, I know I know two people studying currently, or they had the exam today. The guy across the road started working for the postal company about 5 years ago, and the girlfriend of a friend also got a job in the postal service a few years ago as well. So lots of people wanting to get that permanent position in the postal service, and it looks like a fairly cushy job. The guy across the road seems to be home every day around 3. So I think it's an 8 to 3 timetable, or maybe 8 to 2:30, not sure. But yeah, he seems happy with his yellow uniform, yellow and blue uniform. Mother's Day, absolutely. Michael putting it out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums. Absolutely, Michael. Thanks for reminding me of that. Bronny coming in from Wales, South Wales, Swansea. Looking forward to arriving in Malaga in 7 weeks' time, enjoying the live stream. Thank you very much, Bronny, for that. Hope you enjoy your trip to Spain. The price of melons is also expensive. Yeah, well, that's I think it's got something to do with the probably the pre-season melons. The price will go down as the year progresses, and of course the more production happens. But I think the melons and watermelons that are on sale at the moment are those more expensive ones that hit the shelves early. As I said, with the strawberries, normally when the strawberries come out, the first punnets of strawberries are a lot more expensive than they are, as I said, a month and a half later. Now you can pick strawberries up for around, I think, €2 a kilo maybe, but a couple of months ago it was a lot higher. Ed's in the chat section as well. Hello, Ed. Hope all is well. Alan says, was in Spain and Portugal last week, 600 miles in a diesel BMW, cost less than £80. There we go, the cheap diesel. Portugal fuel prices there have also come down quite a lot, I've noticed. Zach coming in from LA, California. Hello, Zach. Hope all is well. Rory coming in from Mallorca. Another regular viewer is Rory. Now, I'm just going to change the backdrop while I'm about halfway through the chat. We'll change it to a nice sunset that was sent in recently from Jeanette. And it is Alaurín de la Torre down there in Malaga. Nice sunset there over the rooftops. A nice part of the world also. If you've got a picture like this one, this is the email address here, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Send them through. Send them through. Back into the chat I go. Boilers phased out in 5 years. I think that's the idea. If you've got, a boiler that you purchased recently, I don't think you're going to have to get rid of it. But new homes from 2028 on are only going to be fitted with those heat pumps. I believe that's the legislation. But I'll have to check it to make sure that I am 100% correct on that. What else? Grant coming in from Seattle. Hello, Grant, a.k.a. Old Guy Doing Stuff. Cheds, another El Nino forecast. Water will be in short supply. Yeah, El Nino or La Nina, the weather phenomenons that have for many years affected countries like Australia. Now we're hearing them here in Spain as well. I always thought it was a Pacific weather phenomenon, but apparently the Atlantic as well. Lake Vinuela is where the water for Beleth Malaga comes from. There we go. Lake Vinuela. Thanks for that, Martin. Hilda also saying that there was a bit of rain this morning in Benissa. Just enough for the plants for a few days. Yeah, absolutely. We had a bit of rain, I think, last week here in Madrid. So the plants did get a nice drink. Killian coming in from Dublin. Anyone know how to watch the Spanish Division 3 football online? Been a bad day on the pitch for Malaga. So Malaga relegated again, I think. They were in the La Liga a few years ago. Obviously gone downhill since then. Not sure how you would watch Division 3, Killian. Got no idea whether it's even broadcast, to be honest. Elena also saying that Florida needs rain. We're about to start the rainy season, so we should be fine. Only problem is that it's also hurricane season. There we go. But hurricane brings a lot of rain normally with them, don't they? So I imagine it is a way to get plenty of rain, but also very strong winds that, as we have seen, can cause a lot of damage. Welsh is saying that lake has been drying up for years. Never seen it so low. The lake that was just pointed out there by Martin. Gleesme, Almeria, and is the part of Andalusia most reminiscent of Southern California deserts, where we are having a record spring bloom due to all the rain in the past couple of months. I think somebody said there's been no spring flowers in Almeria. Yeah, surprising. No water, no flowers. Daryl's in the chat, apologising for being late. No problems, Daryl. Hope all is well there in Barcelona today. Big game coming up, I think, between Man City and Real Madrid this week, is it? I think. So it'd be an interesting result. What else? Let's have a look. Some chat going on there. John coming in from Los Alcazares. Thunderstorms this morning, but all good now. There we go. So it might have been a bit of rain, hopefully, there. Daryl saying that there's been protests by local people in a barrio of Barcelona over a planned culling of 140 trees. Waste of time as they are planting many others. Thanks, Daryl, for that. Protesting about cutting down those 140 trees. Stephen coming in from Enfield, North London, going back to Torrevieja on Wednesday. We just saw a photo of Torrevieja, the coastline down there. Thanks, Stephen, for that. Maui coming in from Alcoy. Hello, Maui there. Hope all is well. Let's have a look. Does anyone have a suggestion regarding how to pay one's IVTM if a bill with a QR code is not received? No idea, Carol. No idea. Is that the... I don't know what the IVTM... I don't know what it stands for, but let us know. Let us know, Carol. +1 on planting more trees, says Dean. Spanish cities rather than cutting them down. Absolutely, yeah. We need to get some more trees up. I think that was the plan that we saw last week or the week before, was it? When they said that they're going to rethink the urban planning of many Spanish cities, make them more friendlier in the hot temperatures. Because, as we know, the warm weather has started early this year. So it's going to be a long, dry summer. Sant Feliu is about 12 kilometres from 12 to 16, depending on your route, says Daryl. So it's not close to Terrassa. Shane coming in from Manchester, 21 there today for a change. Will be in Ballard next week. Hope all goes well with your trip there, Shane. Erica also saying that Sant Feliu is on the coast while Terrassa is inland behind the Collserola Mountains at the back of Barcelona. So we're getting an exact location of Sant Feliu. What else? Let's have a look here quickly. Almost coming to the end. San Juan de los Terreros, a few spots of rain there also. Yeah, it's a few rain clouds forming over where I am here today also, but we didn't get any rain. On my weather app, it did say that there was going to be a bit of rain there for a while, but it never arrived. Seville-style feria in Torrevieja this week. It was on last year too. Is it something that is done in other parts of Spain? Cheers all. Don't know. Here, where I live, there's sort of like an Andalusian cultural organisation that organise a little mini festival, where they all dress up in the typical Seville or the Andalusian, if you like, those flamenco dresses, and the men dress up as well, and they do a few of the old Sevillana dances, that music that's very repetitive, where they all dance in a certain way. But I haven't heard of any other festivals except for that one. Alinda coming in from Mississippi, 30 degrees there, down there in the US. It's a job for life at the Correos, says Daryl. Absolutely, Daryl, it is a job for life. If you are lucky enough to be one of those 7,000 people that do get in, 80,000 candidates, so, it's not easy. Very popular. My colleague James from Spain Reveal posted a video about Semana Santa in Sevilla, and I was wondering how religious you are. Are Spaniards in general religious? I would say that the majority of Spaniards are not practicing Catholics. They are the majority of Catholics from birth, because they're baptized and they go through the system. But I'm not religious, no. Catholic I am not. And Semana Santa, to be honest, in Seville, no interest, basically. To watch a procession go by, no interest. That's me. But I'm sure lots of people are interested. But from what I understand, and given the amount of churches that I see empty on Sunday morning, Spaniards are not the most religious people anymore. They might have been a few decades ago, and I think some parts of the country are more religious than others. Andalusia, I think, is one of the more religious parts of the country, whereas here in Madrid, not really. But as I said, most people are Catholics from birth, but not practicing, meaning that they don't go to church or do whatever the Catholic faith requires you to do, and things like that. But there are lots of religious schools around the country run by the Catholic Church or various groups of the Catholic Church. So, yeah, but no more than other countries, I don't think. It was interesting watching the coronation yesterday, how religious that ceremony was, with all of the religious figures there. That was interesting. So is the UK a religious country? I don't know. But if you watched that ceremony yesterday and you didn't have any idea, you'd probably think that yes, it was, right? But here, not really. An annual auto tax. Okay, yeah, it's the impuesto de vehículos de tracción. Yeah. What you need to do, Carol, is you can go on to, well, what I do is I go on to the local council website, and they've got a little place there where you put in your car license plate number or other details, and all of the information comes up, and you can pay it online. I got an email yesterday or the day before telling me that it's the time to pay. I think there's about a 2-month window open to pay that tax, and I used to get a thing in the mail, but they don't send it anymore. They've cut down on sending paper in the mail. So everything's now done online. But as I said, there's an online where I live, and I'm sure where you are, Carol, as well. The local council would have something set up where you can pay online by putting your license plate in, and all of the information should come up on how much you have to pay and things like that. Or you can just go down to the local council and do it from there, I think. Have I been to Lloret de Mar? No, John, I have not. I have not been to that resort in Catalonia. Harriet saying the postal service in our area is absolutely dreadful. Yeah, well, where I live, it's not too bad. The letters do come through. Of course, I get about 1 letter a month nowadays. Not many letters come through. It seems to be all junk mail that I get. But I do see the posties riding around on their little scooters or the little motorbikes. So they work hard in the hours that they have to work. All right, now I'm at the end of the chat section. There we go. So I'll just have a look at this one here about diesel. Diesel is around a cent. Sorry, diesel is around right cent a litre cheaper than petrol in Ireland. So I think it's around a cent cheaper. We don't get it from Morocco, and like Spain, diesel is supposed to be more expensive. Don't know what's going on with pricing. Yeah, well, as I said, it's we can see here in the on the two different prices, $1.52 for the unleaded 95, $1.36.7 for the diesel at the moment, and we were told that it was going to be more expensive diesel going forward, but it's not the case, and the thing is that. Glees me pointing out that the king had to declare himself a faithful Protestant. A statutory requirement to be monarch. Yeah, of course, it's all part of the ceremony, of course. All of the archbishops and all of those people were there in their costumes. for lack of a better word. But it's all part of the ceremony. It's all part of the ceremony and the symbols. Remember that, the symbols. Very religious, Yusuf, yes. Cult-like, I couldn't watch more than a minute of it. Yeah, I only watched about 10 minutes. I just saw it on YouTube, so I sort of clicked on when they were just people were arriving at Westminster Abbey. Around, what was the time? Was it around 12 o'clock, I think, around noon, I think it was. And it was something that did catch my attention, was the amount of the religious side of that ceremony. But of course, the history of the monarchy and its link to religion, of course, the Church of England. There were also members of the Church of Scotland, I think I saw, and the Church of Wales, so there's different churches there. Interesting. Robes might have been the word. Yeah, that might have been the word that I was looking for there. Thanks, Bronny, for that. And Carol, thank you for the advice. That's what I do, Carol, because like I said, I used to get a little piece of paper in the mail every year, because there's normally two payments, a split payment. You've got one now and another one in September or October, can't remember. But then they stopped sending them. So I went to the council and they said, oh, no, this is all online now. So I wrote down my email address or gave them my email address, and they sent me a little reminder telling me that when I have to pay, go to their website, to the payments portal, put in the license plate number, and all of the info comes up, and it just goes straight through direct debit out of the bank account, and everything's taken care of. And if you need to have like a copy to show that you have paid, as I think, by law you have to carry the copy in your car with you, just print out the payment, and you should be right to go with that. Eric is saying that in the 50s and 60s, lots of people from the south of Spain and from Extremadura came to Catalonia and the Basque Country to find a job and have a better life. Yes, that was the history of migration in this country. People from Extremadura especially, and Andalusia, the historically poorer parts of the country, going to the rich industrial Catalonia and the rich industrial Basque Country, as Erica points out. And that's why a lot of people in Catalonia do have the connection still with Extremadura and Andalusia. For example, my partner's family from Cordoba, they have family in Catalonia, of course, because some came to Madrid, some went to Catalonia. So people looking for better lives. And the Basque Country was and Catalonia were where the jobs were, with all of the industry that was set up there. Of course, because of they're the gateways into Spain from other European countries, so it's where a lot of the industry is. So lots of stories. Thanks for that. All right, great. Now I'm going to wrap the live stream up. Nearly 50 minutes. Thank you very much for watching today. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back on Tuesday with another live stream, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for participating in the chat. Thanks for watching, as I said, and I'll be back again on Tuesday evening, 7:35, for another live stream. We'll see what's happened. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days as far as news and comment is concerned. So it's been a pleasure. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adiós.